Hello, hello, and welcome to our call today on changing times, new possibilities. I'm Avalon and I'm here with the beautiful Sally. Welcome, Sally.
Hello.
So we decided to get together today because there is so much changing in the world, and we know that a lot of people are being met with challenges, and particularly around what you're doing for work, for income, for jobs. There's, depending where you are in Australia, in a lot of places, there are restrictions being placed on people who may not be able to work in the work that you've been doing. And so we've come together because we are so passionate about supporting these the changing times, to support people through these times, to know that there are actually, as some of the doors are closing, there are other doors that can open, and this can also be an amazing opportunity. So thank you for being here today. We're going to I'll begin by just I'll guide us into a place of connection shortly. And then Sally's also going to share about some ways that she may be able to support you in moving forward as well. So first of all, one of the things I wanted to address is just acknowledging how stressful it can be, when you're in a place of uncertainty, when you're not sure, particularly when it comes to your own survival and being able to put food on the table, have a roof over your head. Like, this is a real thing that's happening for a lot of people at the moment. And this can be very unsettling, very destabilizing. I know that everyone has a role to play in the culture, right? And the role that you have been playing, that may be changing. Right. And sometimes it can feel quite overwhelming when if you don't feel like you have many options, or if if what you've been doing for a long time, suddenly that's all changing. So thank you for being here. We want you to know that you're not alone. And that's so important at these times, to know that you are actually, there are people who can support you. There are groups, there are communities, and there's also private support you can receive. So yeah, I thought to begin, I invite you to just really land here with us. I'm just going to take a few moments just to land and arrive so that you can feel more relaxed. And when you're feeling relaxed, then more possibilities start to open up, because when your nervous system relaxes, then your mind can relax. And that's when your creativity and your higher intelligence can also be more available, because if you're feeling afraid and powerless, it can feel like there's not many options. So we'll do that first. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're feeling comfortable to do that, and we'll just take a few moments to just become aware of your breathing. And I invite you to deepen your breathing. So allow your breath to fill you up a little more, and releasing on the out breath, and inviting you to slow down, to really rest more deeply into this moment. Because especially if you're feeling stressed, our breathing gets shallower, and we tend to, go into a little bit of like this kind of feeling like things are speeding up and you're feeling quite stressed. So this is an invitation to drop more deeply into this moment and really landing here, arriving in your own body temple, allowing your out breath to release gently, and just really bringing your awareness into your own body temple with your breath. Releasing stress, anything that you don't want to carry, letting that go on the out breath, and breathing in fresh, new energy. Releasing on the out breath. And imagine that you are like a tree and you have roots growing into the earth. and allowing your roots to grow down into the earth so that you are held, you are supported, and that you are safe on the earth. And imagine that those roots, your roots growing into the earth, can also receive nourishment. So allowing yourself to just receive nourishment, and it's no effort. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just simply relax and feel that you are part of this world. You are connected with the earth. You are not alone, and we are in this together. And while we're in this place, just acknowledging that there are old structures that are starting to crumble away, and there are new structures that are more aligned with life that are emerging. And so I invite you to drop into a place of trust, even if you are in the unknown, even if you are feeling uncertain about what's next, knowing that it's only one step at a time. At this point, we are unable to predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't really know how long this uncertainty is going to last for. But one thing that we can do is come more deeply into the present moment. And this is truly your place of power, is in this present moment, and also being connected with other humans, because we are so much stronger together and we can support each other. So I'm going to take one more breath of integration and then invite you to open your eyes. So it's breathing in. And welcome to this space. Thank you for being here. I trust that if you're here with us, it's all perfect and you've been guided to this space, because this is, I'm just noticing how much magic is also alive at the moment. Like it's so interesting with some really crazy things and a lot of stressful things happening. And at the same time, this real emergence of humans who are stepping up, who are stepping forward, who are really acknowledging that we have a role to play, that we are in this together. And so I'm so glad that you're here today. And so I'm going to hand over to Sally, the natural coach, just to guide a little more about, what do you see happening, Sally, during these changing times, and what is it that you can offer to support people through these changes too?
Well, thank you so much, Avalon, for having me here. That was such a beautiful grounding, and I feel like at the moment we're really being called into really connecting with who we are and what we believe, what we truly believe. So I'm totally honouring anybody in that position of having to leave a job or career because they're staying true to what they believe and hold to be true within themselves. So just really honouring that strength, the strength in that just follow that intuition of, like, this is not the path for me, I'm going to do something else.
Totally. And knowing that there are so many of us who are making that choice for bodily sovereignty. There are so many, and that's why it's so good to get together and to come out and know you're not alone, because the media might make it seem like we're really a tiny minority, but that's not true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know, I heard it somewhere that like 50 people left the police force, and I thought, only 50? I don't think so.
Maybe in one town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so just honouring that position, and also acknowledging the fear that can be in that changing career. I changed my career a few years ago before all of this, so completely unrelated to COVID rules and all of that, but our careers can be such a huge part of who we are and our identity. And I know that was actually the biggest thing for me. One of the biggest struggles when I went from being in a job, in a career, in a profession, to running my own business was really that shift in identity. So I know that can be such a huge challenge, especially because a lot of the jobs being impacted by this are, jobs that people have trained for a long time for, got degrees, studied for a long time. it's a profession that can become part of the identity. And that was definitely one of the biggest challenges for me when I left, because all of my friends were in that profession. It's what I'd done for 10 years. I was pretty good at it before I got sick of it and then was terrible at it. It just, that's such a huge part of that journey of changing, especially when that change is not necessarily completely 100% in your hands. It's not necessarily making that choice to leave that job. You'd probably still be quite happy in that profession if it wasn't for these things going on. So I just wanted to speak to that for a minute, because I feel like that's one of the biggest things. And yes, money is a huge part of it. You've got to put food on the table, pay the rent, pay the bills, all of that stuff. But I feel like a big part of it is that identity. If you've been used to going to the same place every day for 10 years, you know your job inside out, it's huge. It's huge. So just acknowledging that that's a huge part of what it is. So I went from being an environmental health officer in the local government to starting my own coaching business, which is such a huge change. And it was a challenge, I won't lie, but just totally worth it, because I feel like, within all of that, I feel like we all have an inner calling, an inner desire to do a thing that's totally unique to us, totally different. Even though I speak to a lot of people that have left their jobs to become coaches, and we've all become different types of coaches, and people that leave their jobs to start cleaning businesses, people that start gardening, anything. I feel like we all have that inner spark of innovation and skill, and something that only we can offer. And really part of my role is to help people connect into what that is for you in your individual circumstance. Ever in any way tell people what to do or guide. I'm just there to help tap into that inner resource, that inner skill set. And I feel like a lot of people don't even know that they have those skills, because they're so used to knowing that they have them that they don't realize that other people don't have that skill and would need it and would pay for it.
Exactly. That's a good point, because you're intuitive and you can listen and really get a sense for who someone is. You can see clearly what gifts and skills that they bring that they might not even have, because it's such a thing that is so normal and familiar to you that you might not even realize it's something that you could actually help other people with, which you can actually make an income from if you set up a business supporting people doing something that is just innately natural and that you're good at.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many amazingly skilled people out there doing jobs, but they could be, self-employed, creating amazing stuff and really contributing to their community and society in a really different way to what they're doing right now. But yeah, my work is all about releasing that inner, I kind of visualize it like a gift, our own inner gift, like releasing that, and then also starting a business and kind of monetizing in a way that feels really good.
Yeah.
So creating those, what the offering could be, pricing it, getting the word out, those beginning stages of business, like really setting up all of those structures to be doing your passion, your skill set, and making money out of it.
Yeah. And so in your experience of moving from being employed to then being self-employed, what have you identified as some of the skills that you've needed to, or say the qualities that you've needed to cultivate to shift? It's a real different mindset, isn't it, to be working for yourself compared to working for someone else? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that my biggest journey through this has been believing in myself and really connecting into intuition and being kind of guided. Because when you're in a job, you just rock up, do your thing, do what the boss tells you, go home. But then in your own business, you're fully responsible for all of that stuff. So that's been huge. And also visibility has been a massive thing for me. It's just so different. Just in a job, you do your thing, you hide behind whatever that company name is. Well, for me, it was a local government. Nobody hates the government anyway, so but you're kind of hidden behind that organization or whatever it is. But then totally different in your own business. So really, for me, it's been about visibility, showing up in the work, and really, and I always think, I don't know, you may agree with this, Avalon, that running your own business is like a spiritual growth experience as well, because you're always pushing your own edges.
It really is. It's such a path of self-expansion, because you're met with your own doubts, your own fears, and it gives that opportunity to go, well, is that going to stop me, or am I going to move through it? You need to be so committed.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it's not like a job where there may be like a regular income just coming in week to week. Your income is actually reliant on you showing up, and that there's beautiful things about that, because it also means that your capacity to earn more is actually expanded too, because the sky's the limit. Like, it's only limited by your own imagination, your own creativity, your own ability to serve. We have so many different ways that we can help people these days, like in real life and online, and you can create offerings where you can share something that you bring, and you can share it with lots of people. And I love the realm of business, because it means that you can also live life to the beat of your own drum, right? You can choose your own hours, you can choose your location. So it's like that mixture of, with great power comes great responsibility, but that is, an empowering personal journey of growth. And that's why it's so helpful to have someone by your side who can support you through those growth edges, because especially if it's a new thing, you can feel it can feel a bit overwhelming. There's looking at the different things to take care of when you've got your own business, and having someone by your side can make all the difference.
Definitely. And I know when I first started out, like, you can get really caught up in your own head about, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this other thing? But then, and then you can just get stuck in that space of overthinking.
Yeah.
But having someone there to talk it through, work it all out, get really connected, flow from that inner space, really helps. Just cut all of that out and just get straight in there.
That's right, because you need to take the action.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's just stuck in, overthinking, then it just slows the whole thing down.
That's right. And the other thing is, it's not just about action for the sake of action. Like, it's really deliberate, intentional action, getting really clear, because it's worth taking the time to get clear, to do a little bit of that soul searching, go, hey, what is it that is actually what I'm here to do? Like, what is that? What is it that feels good to me, that's actually a quality that I naturally already have, that other people can benefit from, and then see how I can offer that in a way that actually really makes a meaningful difference and is valuable to others, because that's really the bottom line, isn't it, with a business, is being able to communicate it in a way that other people can also see how they can benefit. And that's something that you do beautifully, is support people to get clear on what that is, and get clear on the actions to take that are actually going to make a difference, to be able to bring in that income so that you can support yourself doing your own soul work.
Absolutely. And I totally feel like having your own business, doing your soul work, kind of sets up your entire life. It's not just about the money and the income. It sets up, like you do, Avalon, like homeschooling your kids. It kind of like, it opens up these opportunities, these other ways of living, other ways of being, that might not necessarily be supported in the traditional 9 to 5 or shift work, or in the traditional kind of employment situation. So it can really, you can move to live wherever you want to live. You can have your kids at home if you want to have them at home. You can travel the world and be a digital nomad.
Exactly.
You can do anything.
And you can
everything.
Yeah, and set your own hours. Like, that's what I love. Like, it's like, in the beginning, I was even though I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, I was still conditioned in the cultural paradigm of needing to work hard all day, every day, right? Like, and just show up like that. But over the years, as I've got clearer about who I am and what I'm doing and how I can help, I've also moved into a new rhythm in my life where I have a lot of spaciousness now. Like, I've got a lot more time to make sure that I can show up when I'm showing up. It's in a way that's a quality way. Like, putting my attention to things that matter. Less social media for me, which has been amazing, but more real life connections with people and developing more meaningful relationships. That's been a big part of me feeling much more relaxed as an entrepreneur, because there is still that movement of really like pushing and overworking, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about having a healthy financial income while also having quite a beautiful lifestyle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In a way that just feels good.
Does. So I'd love to hear, can you share with the people watching your beautiful offering that you're willing to share today, which is just, so special?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm offering a visioning session for just $50. So if you're in that situation, if you need to change your career, work something out, oh my gosh, in that situation.
Yeah.
A visioning session, just $50. It's normally $150, but I feel so called to support people in that. They're facing that dilemma. I'd love to support you to find your alternatives and explore those different options.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful offer. It's so affordable to really step into a quality space with you where someone can get a lot of clarity about who, what they're doing and what their next steps are. So if you're in a position when you're feeling a bit unsure, you might even have no ideas, you might have a few ideas, but it doesn't really matter, because Sally can meet you exactly where you're at and really listen to where you're at and support you to get that clarity about, okay, what is it that you're here to do on the planet? What if this is an actual beautiful opportunity to change how things have been, because we know things can't stay the way they've been anyway, right? And if you're feeling that, then what we'll do is we'll put the link below, or you can reach out to Sally or I, and we can, if you've seen this forwarded to you, just reach out. We can get the link to you, but Sally's got a link where you can set up that special visioning session with her at such an affordable rate for only $50, so that you can get some clarity and, look at who knows what's possible for you and what you can birth into the world.
Yes, that'd be so exciting. Excited to explore that with you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Sally, for joining me. And thank you for watching today. I highly encourage you to take Sally up on that offer. It's a limited offer. So if you're watching this, jump on it and take action. Click on the link so you can book your session with Sally.
Awesome. Thank you, Avalon.
Thank you.